All right, let's go. Come on, pick it up. Pick it up. Let's go.
Michael Todd may have set this new seated pronation lift world record, but he did realize that one thing that the fans were always complaining about regarding his training, they were actually right about it, and Michael has started working on it. Is that going to make him unstoppable in the future? We'll have to find out. In his latest video, Michael revealed that he has already started his preparation for the East versus West China event, which is going to happen on September 12th. So the next event is in August, and after that, we have the China event. His opponent was supposed to be Ivan Matyushenko in this upcoming event, but regardless of the opponent, his training is not going to stop. This time he has decided that he is going to stay at a lighter weight. Initially, as we have discussed in the previous videos, Michael used to believe that it's going to be really difficult for him to cut down to 105. And we saw that it was difficult for him when he cut down to that weight for the Ongarbayev fight. He even used to get mad at people suggesting him that he should drop down to 115 or even 105. His responses were not the most pleasant ones. But now he comfortably walks around 110 kilos, and he has realized that these two are his actual natural weight categories. So the new training philosophy, instead of repeating sets of 5 like he always used to do on all major arm wrestling lifts, he is switching the exercise strategy to heavy singles and static holds, and then he will progressively overload every week. The goal is to peak perfectly for September 12th. He doesn't know the opponent yet, but whoever he is going to be in big trouble. So the seated pronation lift, Michael's best is 201 pounds, and he started only with 137 pounds. He tried to hold that weight for as long as he can, and he could only manage to get 13 seconds on it. So the goal by August 28 is to get to almost 210 pounds of this seated pronation lift. Then the riser exercise, which Michael believes is one of his weakest lifts and he needs to work on it. I said one of his weakest links because we are going to talk about one more thing later on in this video. So the best is around 120 pounds. He started only with 86 pounds and the plan is to get to 130. And this is a new strategy that Michael is following. Not new for him, but for others, it may be something new and they may want to try this. Instead of taking weeks off after competition, you drop down the weight in your working set so much that it feels like rest to your body. And that's what Michael is doing here. So if he gets to that weight, he probably won't be losing too many riser battles in the future against any top roller. Then the outside side pressure exercise, the previous best was 307 pounds. And this is one of the lifts that people used to make fun of. Now Michael's new focus is to keep the arm tight and close to the body instead of completely getting stretched out, just trying to pin the weight somehow. So he wants to improve his setup strength, the center table strength, and his power with this tight angle instead of just being strong with an open arm top roll. So the goal is to get to 209 pounds with this new kind of setup. He realizes that it is not going to be easy. That's why the number is there. Then shoulder press goals, previous best is 209.5 pounds. He failed at 212.5 pounds. Now he has started at 147.5. And the August 28 goal is 220 pounds. The pronation engaged back pressure. Again, one more lift that people didn't really like too much. They didn't really enjoy seeing the aesthetics of it. I mean, the weight was awesome, but the form wasn't. So the previous best was around 190 pounds. He started with 147 and the goal is 220. That's a 30-pound jump. So he's going to do some additional strength work too. He's going to be doing some pull-ups every day, some dips every day. There's a new deadlift goal. Previous best was 605. New goal is 615. He's going to be doing some strict curls too. Previous best was 200. We'll try to get to 220 or at least 210. Then the preacher hammer curls starting at 118. Best was 180 and the goal is 195.5 pounds. And one of the moments of realization for Michael was this cupping exercise on the table, where Yanis Omolins repped out a weight which Michael couldn't even move. And he was surprised to see that. So now he has realized that this is probably the weakest part in his game and he is going to work on that. I mean, Michael isn't curling his wrist in against anyone, but if you have a good wrist curl, it prevents your own wrist from going back. so it will definitely carry over on the table. He realized that his wrist strength wasn't transferring perfectly on the table, and that's what he's going to be working on. Giannis also taught Michael to work with a slightly bent back wrist and then curl in his exercises, which Michael wasn't doing as of now, but he has started doing it now. And hopefully he's going to see some good gains there too. Michael will be competing in a tournament, AUA Nationals, on 27th of June, but he won't be taking too much rest before or after that. A couple of days ago, we saw the Southeast Asia qualifiers in Malaysia, and the event was awesome. It literally got hundreds of thousands of views on Dexter Tan's channel, the live stream. Initially, I was saying like, why does Dexter keep on talking about Southeast Asia, Southeast Asia? There are no fans there. India has more arm wrestling fans than the population of some of those countries. But after seeing the massive success of this tournament, at least on the social media part, it was obviously a great decision. There were some famous names like Guy Thanpat, Greg Yeo, Ji Hyun Min, Mike Ford. Mike Ford turned out to be the number one in Southeast Asia. He beat Ji Hyun Min quite easily. I'll be showing you the results of all of the matches there. In this interview, Reno Masic shared his whole arm wrestling journey and his future plans. He started arm wrestling at the age of just 13 years old. And not surprisingly, he comes from a strong arm wrestling background. His father, his uncle, his grandfather, grandmother were all arm wrestlers. They established one of the first arm wrestling clubs in Croatia. So before arm wrestling, he tried to excel in video games and some other sports, but obviously it didn't really work out. He got inspired by Devon Larratt and started arm wrestling. His first international tournament was in 2019, the Zagreb Strong, and also later on the European Championships. He won both left and right-handed competition at Europeans at a very young age, not just in youth or juniors, but in seniors too. At this year's Europeans, he won the left-handed gold. It was amazing. He said it was one of the strongest classes out there. He didn't really win the gold on the right arm because Bacho was unstoppable that day. And he did talk about Bacho a lot. He acknowledged that Bacho's strength was simply on another level that day. He believes Bacho executed his technique pretty well. He pulled him outside of his press position, but he wants a rematch, preferably at World Championships. He's not interested in a super match right now due to some injury concerns. Reno believes that super matches are way more dangerous than tournaments. You have a lot more matches in tournaments against different people, but you also get time to recover. In a super match, because of the immediate back-to-back rounds, there's a higher risk of getting injured there. And we saw that he did get injured in the Sagov match, and he hasn't really been back at his previous level yet. He's still recovering from that major elbow injury that he got in that Sagov match almost 2 years ago. Before the injury, his left and right were pretty close. Now the left arm is significantly stronger because it is the more healthier arm. Reno believes that in the past, his toughest opponents have been Sasho Andreev, Ivan Matyushenko, and also Bacho Saginashvili. That Ivan match was awesome too. Ivan showed why experience matters. So how Reno wins his matches? The first case scenario, if he knows his super match opponent well, he studies the footage, he identifies the strengths and weaknesses of his opponent, then he creates counters against them. If he does not have too much information about his opponent, then he relies on his strongest move, which is obviously a press. But I do think that after that injury, he will be working on a top roll too. And he will be competing lightest in the 110 kg category. So at East versus West, maybe 115, but not any lighter than that. His key training advice for young arm wrestlers was, don't blindly copy elite arm wrestlers. Many professionals use specialized exercises developed after years of arm wrestling experience. And you never really know when they might have changed their training style. They didn't inform you about that. You may be copying what they used to do like few years ago, and now it's not working for them anymore. So build a strong base first and then add specialization work later. Figure out for yourself, make mistakes and learn from them. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again.